Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Shane here. We're back out in the garage, tinkering with this old car again. So yeah, so I showed you guys last time. We kind of had this front end on roughly, like just, but yeah. So I got started with the, kind of the hardware there. We got some more of that stuff in the bin. You can kind of see, and I got the rad just mocked in because I got to do something here to tidy this up. So we're going to pull that rad. We're going to make something nice there. The shroud, I'll show you guys here too. We got that stuff hanging because we got it all painted up. This is the little spoiler for down in the front there. We'll throw that baby in right away. And here's the shroud, looking good. Yeah, so we can put that all together and get that put in. But what I'm working right now, I'm going to work on anyways, is I'm going to, like I just said, I'm going to go ahead and clean this front little piece up, make it presentable, make it look good. And then we can go ahead and start putting that all in for good. And then, because then I can bolt these, I can bolt the fenders on proper and bolt these in and stuff once I'm happy with everything. Then I'm also, you can see I got this piece sitting up here. So this is leftover material from my door panels. These were kind of the inserts that I cut out. Yeah, so I got plenty of that stuff. I'm going to attempt to make a nice little engine cover to kind of hide these ugly old LS engines, just make it kind of look just a little nicer under the hood, and and to keep the progress going. So anyways, that's the plan. I think I'm gonna work on this first. I'll get something here. I'll pull this little rad out. I put it in just to make sure, and I got some little rubber mount things here that we'll kind of use to mount that rad too, so that it, a little bit of vibration dampening. It can't hurt, right? So and then I'll move on to building something there. So let's get this rad out of here, and I just got to clean this up just a little bit with my grinder, and then I'll show you what my plan is to try and make a nice little, just to finish this off, to make it look like it, make it look like it kind of belongs with what I got going on there. So, and I think I'm not sure if I'll build a little. I think there is the little cap for here, or I'll build something. We'll see though. But and then I'll throw that piece down inside the middle there. I'll show you that too, because that'll look good. That'll clean that up and brace up the fenders as well. So let's keep on going. And I'm going to get the strut out. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the radiator out and we'll move on. Okay, so I got the radiator there. I just wanted to show you guys one thing before I move on, but you can kind of see, well, maybe you can see, I'll get my light, but you can see in there, that's what that kind of looks like. I got the, the hardware and stuff. So not that you really ever see that, but it does look good. I like it. So that's the gist of that. So like I said, now that I showed you guys that, we can continue on with the project. All right, folks, there you have it. I really do hope it works, because believe it or not, this was a heck of a hard little piece to cut out. So deceivingly hard. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean it up. I got my flapper wheel here. We'll just clean it up a little bit and stuff, and then we'll start molding it, see how it fits. It's kind of a thin, nice little piece, thinner metal too. So I should be able to muscle it into place and just tidy it up and get it fitted. So, but we'll see. Anyways, first things first, we'll clean it up and we'll go from there. Okay, so got that baby looking not too bad. I can clean it up a little bit more. Whatever, it's all good. Now, the plan is to get it to fit this. So what I think I'm going to do is I got my drawer full of vice grips, and I cut these little cardboard pieces. This is only so I can clean this up after anyways, but just so I don't crunch it up too bad. But I think I'm going to start somewhere here, and I'm just going to start lining it up and pinching it with these. Yeah, so that's the plan, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, I kind of hope it works, because it was a pickle to cut out, but I don't know. I'm happy with that so far. We'll give her another little pinch here somewhere right there. Yeah, I don't know. I dig that. Like I said, it's pretty malleable. Can move it wherever I need. So All right. I ain't gonna lie, this is going a little better than I thought it would. I thought this would be a little bit of a wrestling match to get this to flow around, but maybe I spoke too soon. So we'll see. Think about there. Now, if I can get this to go, yeah, see, he's a little on the long side. Well, that's okay. I can trim it, but I just want to make sure it fits before I trim it. But yeah, shoot, I don't know. It's looking pretty good. And then I'm gonna, well, I'll tell you guys. So I'm gonna use my little, because I love them little copper smashy rivets so much. I'm gonna just run a bead of them around there just to hold that down. So that's the plan. Let me see if I can get this end pinched in and go from there. Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is, because it's so close, I'm just gonna trim just a little bit. I got an idea. I'll trim just a little bit at a time. I'm gonna put a black mark on my pen. And the reason do that is that I can just, it gives me an idea how much I'm trimming. How much I'm trimming, and it also lets me know if I'm trimming it off straight. So let's see here now. Yeah, still kind of hot. All right, we're getting there. A little bit more. Owie. Ow. If only something existed that you could put on your hands to protect them from hot stuff like this, then you could just grab it and work with it, right? I should, yeah, if only something existed. I think that's the money right there. It gives it the kind of squish it down in there. Yep, I think it looks good. I like it. So yeah, so now the step will be to lay out the holes, and I may as well just smash that in right away, because then I can, I put my fan on the shroud, so then I can, if I get this done, I can go ahead and mount that stuff and be done with it, and then start working on that. I think this engine bay is going to look kind of, well, it's going to look different, but I think it's going to look tidy and kind of tough, I think anyways. I kind of like that. I like the metal, I like the whatever. So so that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, I like this. I like it a lot. I'm going to go ahead and start marking this out. Basically just set, all I'm going to do is one row down the center, and I'll, you know, smashy rivet them in. I think I'll do the same thing. Oh, let me see. Just give me an idea where, yeah, I think every 2 inches, because that'll get me one here, one just on the other side of the bend, and so on. Yeah, okay, so I'll pull this out, lay them out, and then I'll show you guys as I kind of smash them in there. Got it all kind of pinched on there, and I got the holes drilled in just this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and do one at a time. I'll start on this corner, because that's where I started. No, might be hard. But anyways, we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and start drilling. I do have it clamped pretty good, but I'll start drilling the second holes through the metal, and then maybe we'll smash a few of them in. We can start getting rid of these clamps. But yeah, so let's get the drill. Let's do this one first. Yeah, so I think I'll go ahead and just smash that one quick so that it doesn't move on me, and I'll probably just keep doing that the whole way. So get my air wand. Get the rivet smasher. And get a bucket of rivets. And you'll see here. And we'll see what happens. I lost my the back smashy thing, so this is good. I start with the hardest one first. That's a good plan, right? Perfect. All right. You get to take away the first vice grip. Yeah, and I think I like that one, so I'll go ahead and muscle that one out, and we'll have this corner done, and we'll just continue on. All right, let me show you guys quick. Yeah, so there you go. That's the lowdown on that, and I'll just continue on, and I'll show you guys when I'm done. Okay, so I got this fella how I like it, and I like it. I think it looked good. So there we go. Like I said, just a little trim piece to just kind of finish that edge off. And then what I like to do too is it makes it kind of a good look is I take this Scotch-Brite, and the beauty of this is later on if you kind of want to clean it or you want the rivets to look bright, you can just do this. So I just give it a little buff, and then what it does too, I'll show you when I'm done. What I see, what I feel it does that I kind of like. So then what it does, because the stuff doesn't really get down around, it's probably hard to see on camera, but it doesn't really get, the Scotch-Brite doesn't really get down around that, so that it kind of leaves a more of a different finish. Like it's a little more polished here, but a little duller around there, but then the rivets, I don't know. I just like how it looks. So there's that. So that's all done. That's out of my way. So now I can go ahead and install that radiator for good, and then I can work on this. I don't think I need the radiator in. I may as well do it, right? Because we're here, and then I can go ahead and start making my engine cover. But if you guys remember from looking before, we got so much room. It's gonna be awesome. It's nice to have lots of room because because everything on these usually is super tight. This car has kind of a long nose, and it just seems to be working out okay. So I'll get that radiator mounted, and then we'll go ahead and when I get back with you guys, we'll be cutting out some pieces for that engine cover. So see you guys in a couple minutes. All right, everyone, I've been out here diligently working. So I want to show you what it's looking like so far here. So you can see there, we got the rad in. It's looking good. I like it. I did throw the tray in there, so that's what it's looking like in there. Pretty happy with that. And I've been moving on to preparing for that piece there. I'm just about done for the evening. Got to pack it in, but what I went ahead and did was made these little fellas. So I got these little rods and I drilled through them, and I put the metric on this, and it's tapped to a standard. So the reason for that is, I'll show you. So one's gonna go here. I'll run that down like that, and then one will go in the back, and then I'll have to make some more for the edge here. But basically that's gonna space it up to get me past everything, and I'll put a nice big washer on top for the plate to sit on. So I got the other one here, little guy there, and we'll throw him on as well. So there, and then I'll show you guys just quick with my with my straight edge here. So yeah, so like I said, that gets me up above everything, all this junk, the cable and all that other good stuff. So yeah, so I think that'll be okay. That'll give me a platform to build this thing on, and I'll have to trim these little things back, but whatever. But like I said, that gives me a platform to start my engine cover. So I might tinker around just a little bit more tonight, finishing up a few little things. But either way, I'll see you guys tomorrow after work, and we'll be working on this. Okay, everyone, back out working on the old Pontiac. So now I got this piece up here. I did some thinking last night just as to what I want to do. So I kind of got it laid out, and I have a plan because I've decided where I'm going to bead roll it and bend it and stuff, and then we'll see how it turns out. But and I've decided that the downside pieces are going to be that angle. So that I'll use that in my bender so that I bend it at that angle. So anyways, we'll get this off and we'll lay it out. We'll lay it out and get it bead rolled and cut up and try to make it look nice. Okay, so this is what I've decided to do. I've decided to use this and this. Well, that's what I've decided on the other side. And anyways, so like I said, I'm just going to transfer the measurements. I'll just make sure this is centered. So that. And that. And then I use this. How did I do that? I'm just going to double check. Forget how I did it. Oh, here's what I'm going to do. Remember now, I measured back to get my line 4 3/4. It's all coming back to me. It was only last night. It shouldn't have left my brain, but it did. That's okay though. We'll get it. There. And I drew a line. Oops. Like that. And then took this guy and I just lined it up to where it fit the lines, and trace that guy out. So what that does is gives me my roundabout. And we'll do the same here. Like that. And then what I've decided is I want 1.5 inch bent over and on each side, and then I want to bead roll 1 inch. So that's going to be 2.5. So I might as well lay that out while I'm at it. There's that. I'm also going to do the bead roll line, which is 1.5 inch, for the bend. This is for the bend. Now what I'll do here, I'll remember, right? But I can just do dotted. I'm going to do dotted lines to differentiate, if that's the word I'm looking for. Anyways, that's going to be the bend line to break it. That's the bead roll line. We'll do the same over here. All the way there. And then I'm going to do 1 inch from the end. That's what I decided I wanted to do. There. Now this is going to be the trick here, but that's okay. And then my go-to for the corners is the old WD-40 can. It's always my rounded corner preferred method of tracing. So you can see it's starting to make sense. The inside's going to be bead rolled, and then this part's going to be just rolled down, and that's what I'll attach the other pieces to. So now I got to figure out is how to get this 1 inch all around here nicely. So we'll work on that. I mean, if I had a disc that was, I might have. If I have a disc that's like 1 inch smaller, that'd be perfect, right? I'll see what I got. All right, so I couldn't find anything physically the right size. So what I did was I used my little compass guy there and I traced. So I don't know if you can see that because it's a pencil. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So anyways, it worked pretty good. I got a nice even deal around there. So now I have to transition it to this guy. So we'll see what we can do there. I don't know if I use this guy. I use this to do that. So theoretically, if I move him over, I just have to figure out. I just have to figure that out. I want it to turn. Oh, that's what I got to do. Gotta get my can to match that. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mark this 1 inch. One inch there. Then, if I do this like that, oh, I don't really like that. There. Yeah, so that gets me there. So if I mark that, I should be able to get that transition. This will all make sense. Trust me. It'll all make sense. I hope it makes sense. We'll find out. Anyways, there's that. And let's see what happens when I connect them. Except for, I have to bring that back a little because it's turning into too much of a distance as it leaves. There. And then if I do this, connect him, that, I'm also just going to mark it here. One inch. It makes sense. This one here is tripping me up a little because of that, but got me there. It's into 1 inch. So essentially I got little ticks that I've measured all the way. So I should be able to legit, I'll see that. No, because I know what it is. Here's my problem. This is a bigger radius. That's why it's not lining up. Because it's a smaller radius here. As I move it to there, it's a bigger radius because it's a longer distance. That's why this is not jibing. That's not going to help me. Let's just find something that follows that contour. This guy will be just right. And we'll trace that guy. There. And then Yeah, I can see that good enough. So yeah, so there you can kind of see. It does follow it pretty nice. That's going to be a little harder to follow, but that's okay. I'll duplicate that over here, and then we can, I'll clean these edges up. We'll cut this out, and then we'll bead roll it, and then we'll put it in the bender after, get it the angles I like, and should be good. All right, I got that sucker cut out. It wasn't too bad. It was took a little doing. I used a combination of my snips, a little cutting wheel on a little die grinder, which didn't do the awesomest, but it did its thing. And then I cleaned it up with this a bit, and also a tool there. So anyways, it's looking good. We got that baby cleaned up. So now I'm going to roll over to the old bead roller, and we'll put a little dent in this, and then we can start. Once it's shaped how I like it, I can get this up there, and then we can start making the side pieces. So yeah. All right, so a lot of times I just bead roll stuff and whatever just for the look, and because I enjoy doing it. But in this particular case, it's gonna work good because it will stiffen that up, make it a little more rigid. So we can go ahead and rig up the rig up the system here. So I'm gonna turn my light on. Ooh, that's not super helpful. I'll move it there when I need it. That's where it's helpful. See what happens. Lock that down. There, I think we're in business. I have to put that right there. Combination of that light and my cheater glasses. We'll get this baby. Oh my gosh. If you guys ever have to bead roll something, get a table that doesn't wobble. I'm just going to get something shoved under that leg there. Now it's time for the long straight line. I hear told if you're a tattoo artist, they say that that's the hardest part too, is making a long straight line. But and that's that. We'll see when we get to the edges. I'm not sure how much the edge pieces. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna dimple dye on them, but we'll see. Probably a little bit anyways. So I might have said dimple dye. I get it all confused. But anyways, if you remember, luckily I noticed at the end of that video there, or the end of that of my dimple dyeing there, I noticed the my stupid mic died. So anyways, if you do remember the sound of that, right? Remember it was like waka 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 waka. Well, it doesn't do that anymore. I mean, it still, if you shake it hard enough, but that really makes it rigid and makes it nice. So I will go ahead and peel this off. We'll take a quick look at it, because I just have to bend it a little, but we'll just be careful not to chew it up too bad. And I will probably scuff it just a little bit anyways. So there you go. I think it looks pretty good. Happy with it so far. We'll get it in the bender, match that bend, and then we can have this baby on, and we can start making the side pieces. All right, you can see we got this little fella rigged up here. So, like I said, I'll just try to be gentle. We're gonna give it probably give this one some Scotch-Brite anyways. But yeah, let's put a little bend in this fella. Just a little bend. All right. This is actually kind of tricky just to match, but I'm getting her. I'm going to use this and my tape measure, and we'll get her here. Yep, we're looking good. Yeah, see, we didn't scratch it up too bad. And we'll do the same over here. It's good. It's it's matching. All right, there we go. So we'll set that on the engine, see what it looks like, even bolt it down quick, and then we can start to line up our edges. All right, so that's the idea there. So you can see it still wiggles around a lot and stuff, but once you get it all, once I get it all, the sides, and I'm going to get it all riveted together and stuff. But happy how it's looking. And I'm also what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to roll this front down a bit too. I'll just do that by hand just once, but I'll do it once I get the edges so that it's the other portions of it's nice and rigid, and then I don't end up twisting it and doing something too crazy. But we'll go ahead and start laying out the pieces for this edge. I do have a piece rough cut here. This baby's gonna kind of go down. So that's pretty much, I mean, it has to go down, but that's pretty much where I want it. So what I did was I measured down where I want to put the bend down there, and that's at 11 inches. I measured what, because I'm going to tuck this up under 1 inch. So yeah, 11 inches down. And then I should be able to match the bend to this, and that'll end up being straight down. So that's the plan. So I think I'll just go ahead and I feel comfortable enough or confident enough just to go ahead and bend this, and we'll set it in there. I don't think shouldn't be too risky to be wrecking a piece anyway. So we'll give this a quick bend, and then we'll throw it in here, see how it looks. That worked good. So now I got it. I did mark here, that's going to be down. So it does have to go down a bit. It's hitting the dipstick neck there, but my plan was to shorten this up a little bit down here. So I think once I chomp it to size, shorten that up a bit, I'll kind of decide how much I want sticking down. Don't need much. With these skirts and stuff, you can't see that anyways. But yeah, I think we're looking good. And then I'll lay it out and decide what I'm going to do as far as dimple dyeing it and stuff. And we'll go from there. All right, let me show you where I'm at with this thing. So, FYI, I did muck up. Nothing that I can't handle anyways. So what I did was I went ahead and bent it to the angle I wanted, and it all worked out perfect. It worked out exactly how I wanted it. Then I realized, because I want to bead roll this a bit, I can't have that bend because I can't feed it through the slot of the bead roller. So I just stuck it back in the bender and just manually forced the bend out enough. Went and checked. It will go through the thing. So that's good. So I'm okay, and I don't think it'll, when I put it back to where I want it, I'll stick it in there, and I think it'll just, it'll just crease it back in the same spot. I think it'll look good. And what I did, you can see here too, I did some measurements, and I got a screwdriver in there holding that up, but I went ahead and drilled a hole to fit the neck through, and it worked out pretty good. And because what I'm going to do too is after I get this how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and make just, the other side's got the alternator and stuff that'll kind of take up that space. So on this side, I'll just build just a little nice little plate or something just to kind of clean up that area a little bit. But anyways, so far so good. We'll take this now, and we'll start laying out the where I want it bead rolled. So I think that one I'm going to bead roll it, and then also dimple dye it, a couple dimple dyes in it too, just to give it some good rigidity, but also just to change that, just to add to that look of it a bit. So anyways, let's get out of there, and we'll get it laid out how I want to do that. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do with this one, and then the other side will be pretty much identical. It just won't have the hole, because I kind of just set it in there. It seems to fit just right. So I'll duplicate this later for the other side, minus the hole, but everything else I'll do the same. So because this is going to go underneath 1 inch, that looks like more than 1 inch, but I measured it. Yeah. So I'm gonna bead roll this. So I got to go down. I want the bead roll to start 1 inch below the seam there. So I'm gonna start by going down 2 inches. There. 2 inches. And then I'm gonna go up from my bend 1 inch. And there. One inch up. And then I gotta do the ends. 1 inch. 1 inch. Ooh, that was a yucky one. 1 inch. Now the difference on this end, I don't get into that. I want to bead roll into that deal there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bead roll 1 inch, then I'm going to go around it. I don't know how it'll end up. I'm probably just going to have to go around and then continue on here. I don't think there's just not enough meat down in here to get right around, but that'll look good. 1 inch around that, and then just back into there. So that's the plan. I just got to get my straight edge. I'll mark these out so I don't lose track, and then we'll decide how that's going to look. I'll get my circle maker there. Now's the trick, but I don't think this will be too big of a deal. I'll just figure out. I don't even know what size of hole saw I used. I just used whatever fit the thing. So that's a 2-inch hole saw. Well, I might have a 3-inch hole saw. There we go. Well, let's see if we can. Yeah, that'll work good. Okay, that's all I did. I took the plug there, laid it in there, centered that hole saw. Oh no, see, I mucked up because it splits the difference. It's only half. To get that 1 inch, I need a 4-inch hole saw. I'm glad I just noticed that. All right, round 2. Okay, I think that'll look. Real tidy once it's on this side. It'll just basically come down and go. I think it'll look tidy, and hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I'll probably go bead roll this fella. Then I can put the bend back in it, see how it fits, and then like I said, I'm probably gonna throw a couple dimple dies in here somewhere just to add to the look of it. So let's get after it here. All right, folks, that's all I got for tonight. But I'll show you guys here. It's really starting to take shape. I like how it's looking. So that's the idea there. So you get the gist of it. And I got to create the other one. I still got lots to do. I got to mount it down here. This is all just loose. I did dimple die around the neck there a bit. I don't love how it went there, but the piece I make, I'll kind of make that look, I'll make that look good. So, and this will have the, those copper rivets to really break it up, because this is kind of a big old piece here, but it's turning out. I'll be back out here tomorrow, and we'll hopefully get a bunch more of this done and see how it looks. It's looking pretty good so far, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, here's the update, folks. I've been out here working again, and this is where I kind of had it last night. Just had the piece sitting in there. But what I did is I went ahead and made the left-hand side one. Like I said, I just duplicated it minus the hole for that oil filler neck. But that's the idea. We'll get that baby mounted up in there. We'll pull this hole cover off, and we'll get that one mounted to it, and then we'll get it all. I think I may as well go ahead and rivet it all together. And then I have to make a little piece like I wanted for in here, just something to just clean that corner up. We'll start with getting this off and getting everything riveted together. All right, guys, let me show you my engine cover here. So I went ahead and did, like I said, just a simple little piece in here just to clean that up, and then I riveted that. So then I got thinking, I may as well rivet this side to make it symmetrical. And then I thought, well, may as well do the back on both sides. Right there. And then that's all I'm going to rivet. And the reason being, well, because it looks pretty good. But I also literally had exactly enough rivets of the 1/4 inch long one. So it's meant to be. what I also did was I used some of the sealant, and I glued these thick washers on the back here. I'll tip this up. You guys can see that. That way, got a nice big surface. I'll do that down here too, wherever those other mounts end up being. And then that way, it's just more rigid where those little studs, where these little fellas end up sitting. So that'll make it nice and strong. And I also just cleaned up these edges a bit here. I have to do that side, but once that's done, we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to clean these edges up, but yeah, that'll look good. I think it'll really make that engine bay kind of look tidy and clean, and help this car get on the road. Little Mabel there, up to something. But anyways, that's all I had. That's all the time I have. Anyways, I got to wrap this up and get the videos in, get them edited, and get them out to you guys. That's kind of the idea. That's what it's gonna look like. Really happy how that's coming along. Keep the progress on this whole car going. So, but anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I guess Merry Christmas, and see you guys next time.